come all flat out, he come moving up slowly, he got
What am I in today? Well, something interesting, because you can tell by the camera angle, the windscreen on this thing is not really accepting my camera mount. Well, what I'm in is a Jeep, and not just any Jeep, a Jeep Gladiator. This one in particular is known as the Rubicon. And what makes it so much different, particularly not so much from the front, but in the side profile, it's a truck. It's a Jeep truck. Now, I tried to drive one of these in 2020 with another one of my clients, but unfortunately they just never had them available. And right now I'm happening to drive the only one the good folks at Bay King Chrysler were kind enough to loan me for a Tuesday test drive. And I gotta say, first and foremost, I love the interior of this Jeep. I honestly never thought I would say that, but I've never been in a Gladiator, and I kind of like red, and I love all the red accents. I used to have a Dodge Charger, actually a Hellcat, and I'm really recognizing the infotainment system. And here's the thing about Jeep. If you don't like them or you don't know them, I'm from the car business. I'm always impressed with how they hold their value, how rabidly just excitable people are who have Jeeps, who tend to buy another Jeep. The people that don't buy Jeeps particularly seem to care about a lot of things that Jeep owners don't necessarily care about. Now, if you're a Jeep owner, do you care about, I don't know, fuel economy? Probably not. Do you care about noise, vibration, and harshness, or NVH, as we say in the car business? Well, no, not really, because immediately I get in this vehicle, and as soon as I start driving, I think to myself, what am I driving on? Am I on a washboard road? I'm not. I'm just in the parking lot at the dealership. However, the big knobby tires on this car tell you something different. Obviously, this truck is built for off-road. Now, how many people go off-road with it? That's a whole other story. So don't look at Jeeps as rather an off-road vehicle. You should look at them as more of a lifestyle vehicle. And if you don't believe me, just look at something as simple as like the key. To me, the key looks like a jerry can. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Maybe that's not what they designed it to be, or they designed it to be something kind of like that. But to me, it's pretty clear. And when you look at all the other little details around the car, even on the dashboard here, most companies are going to try and get away from any screws or knobby looking features and buttons. But you know, at Jeep, they kind of go toward those features. Big knobby buttons, little screws in the dash that show a certain build quality or certain kind of like history. And there's a load of history with the Jeep. If you didn't know, Jeep was originally made by Willys Jeep, and those Jeeps were built for the war, and they were a four-wheel drive little runabout. And actually, when you walk into Bay King Chrysler here, they got a Jeep in the floor. That's one of the originals from back in the 40s. Now, this Jeep Gladiator is completely different, but we still see the same waterfall here of the 7 rows of the front grille of the Jeep. That's always in every Jeep product. And of course, with the Gladiator, the big difference here is the cab, or rather the box, we'll say. The cab being 4 doors, well, you could get 4 doors in a Jeep before, but now you have the utility of having that rear box. So you have that extra little bit of utility, but then more to the lifestyle stuff. A lot of people don't realize all this stuff here is removable. And that's what kind of makes this vehicle, if you just drive one to drive one, and you're gonna, I don't know, take the kids to school or just go to work and back, this might not be the vehicle for you. So I do find a lot of the comparisons and the comments made by journalists on the Jeep to be a little bit off the mark, because again, much like the reason to buy, let's say, a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. Why do you need a G-Wagon? Well, no one needs a G-Wagon, but no one really needs a brand new Mercedes-Benz SUV. But if you're getting a Jeep, you're getting a Jeep for a whole different reason. That's why they say it's a Jeep thing. And I get it. I totally get it. Would I own a Jeep? I'd own a Jeep if I had room for multiple vehicles in my driveway, for sure. Because again, in my lifestyle, if I wanted to go hunting or fishing, I would take my Jeep, of course. Why? Because it has the utility to go anywhere and do anything. Now, for some people, I know that's really not the most important thing. So I think the Jeep Gladiator is just not for you. But I gotta say, if you're gonna drive a truck, man, why wouldn't you want to drive a Jeep Gladiator? This thing just looks so cool. I actually have to say as well, on the drive that I've done so far, which hasn't been that far, just on some regular roads, I'm currently in Too High at the moment, and just driving the vehicle, I expected actually something, I don't know why, I guess I expected something a lot less comfortable. And I gotta say, it's actually a lot quieter and a lot more, or I guess you could say a lot less harsh than I thought it would be. This particular model came with the tonneau cover, so it's completely locking, and when I lock the vehicle, that tailgate locks as well. But a lot of great little features, and what a great truck. As well, with the Jeep, the one major difference is this is not a unit body vehicle. And for the uninitiated, the main difference that makes a Jeep so much different, well, say the Wrangler, than let's say the Cherokee or the Trailhawk, is that those are unit bodies. So there's no frame. Whereas on this vehicle, if you look underneath it, you can literally see the frame that it's built on. So it's built much more in the vein of a truck. So you're able to take the doors off and still, well, have it be legal, because trucks are under a different scheme of laws than cars. So a lot of people love that about Jeeps. Your Jeeps can turn into an open convertible, which is, again, kind of cool. I probably will end up owning a Jeep in the future. Although I'm not a big SUV guy, I could totally see the utility, or the available utility, with something like this Jeep Wrangler. And not only that, it's just so badass looking. I mean, look at this thing. It looks pretty phenomenal, if you ask me. And, well, geez, I wouldn't have any problem driving this day to day. Footwell space is amazing. The seat's super comfortable. I got heated seats, of course, and a heated steering wheel, and all those bells and whistles that you're gonna love with any vehicle. So, all that to say, if you want to take a closer look at one of these Jeeps, Jeep Wranglers, Chrysler, Ram product, whatever you need, you can talk to the folks over at Bay King Chrysler. Jamie and his team will do a great job looking after you. Dan, thanks so much again for helping me with this vehicle and getting me all set up for the Tuesday test drive on finally the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. It's been fun.
Here come all flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got juju.